Can I beat my own tower defense game? When I created Fruit Defense, I added an unlockable game mode called Blitz Mode, where the enemies never stop coming, and the game gets faster and faster. The only problem was that this game mode was ridiculously hard. Hello everyone, I'm Edge, and welcome to another Fruit Defense devlog. Let's dive in. When I was working on my game, I accidentally discovered a super easy way to increase playtime. Fruit Defense was way too short with only one game mode. I wanted players to be able to spend a long time maxing out the game, and with only 20 levels, it didn't really take that long to do. So I added in Blitz Mode and Endless Mode. Adding these alternate game modes turned out to be a great way to add more gameplay with minimal new asset creation. I could reuse existing enemies, artwork, and mechanics, and still get a unique and engaging experience. In Blitz Mode, I took the existing level data and simply sped the game up. I had to give the player a little bit more money to balance this out. And in Endless Mode, I designed more than 40 waves of enemies and used the same waves in all the levels. With minimal planning, I was able to add a solid hour of gameplay time. But also, a whole new balancing nightmare. It turns out that my strategy for increasing game length required a bit more work than I thought it would. When one of my testers told me that they thought the last level of my game was impossible on Blitz Mode, I said, "I'll do it myself." How hard could it be? Turns out, very, very hard. After spending several minutes trying to beat the level, I needed to add a way to make it easier. I was able to add a simple difficulty modifier to my levels, and I ended up needing to use it to adjust the difficulty on quite a few of them. After I lowered the difficulty on the final level, I figured that I could easily beat it. So, I hit play, and I hit play, and easily... Okay, maybe the last level was still a little too hard. I decided to lower the difficulty one more time. For almost half an hour, I tried to beat the level. When I still couldn't do it, I lowered the difficulty again. After failing repeatedly, I decided that it didn't help, so I changed it back. After I refined my strategy, I started getting closer to beating the level. In fact, several times, I literally saw the final boss, only to be defeated by the candy that it dropped. I needed one final adjustment to create a winning strategy. I had been trying to take the boss out right at the start of the path, hoping that I would be able to defeat the candy that had dropped before they even got close to the end. However, since someone seemed to like giving bosses way too much health, I needed to change my strategy. I decided to focus all my resources on the last few waves for building a strong defense at the end of the path. I placed 3 apples and upgraded 2 of them, hoping that it would be enough. It was, but it almost wasn't. When the boss was defeated and the candy had dropped to rush towards the end of the path, my fruit were able to take out just enough to beat the game. If one more candy had gotten through, I'd have needed to either try and beat the level again or reevaluate my career choices. But it turned out that I had just enough firepower to survive the final wave with 10 health remaining. And so, I finally proved that the last level of the game was possible. So, now that I knew that the last level was technically beatable, the next question is whether anyone else can do it. When Fruit Defense comes out, I want you to try Blitz Mode yourself and see if you can beat the final level, because I am not sure if I'll ever be able to do it again. And if you have any ideas for what you'd like to see in the next devlog, hit subscribe and leave a comment to let me know. I will see you in the next one.